What's up, Monobrath? It's Special Guardi, and welcome to Part 3 of What If Ash Caught the Pokemon He Could Have Caught. So, before you start, I just want to clear some things up. Ash in this universe has more battles that are affecting his mindset and his skills as a whole. Due to this, Ash will change in the journey exponentially. He won't be the dumb and cocky Ash we all know. So, with that out of the way, without any further ado, let's get watching. Ash and Brock travel as they reach a rock with a Charmander on it. Ash uses his Pokédex to get to know about the information about the Charmander. Ash tries to throw a Pokeball, but the Charmander smacks it back, hitting Ash's face. Brock notices that the Charmander is quite weak and tells Ash to throw the Pokeball again. When Ash does, the Pokeball sucks in the Charmander, but without even checking, the ball breaks, revealing the same weakened Charmander. Pikachu goes and converses with it, and it comes back telling Ash that it's waiting for his trainer. Ash is disappointed, but Brock and Pikachu leave the Charmander in the rock to go to the nearest Pokemon Center so that Ash could switch his team up. He withdraws Bulbasaur, depositing Beedrill. He releases Bulbasaur to his Pokeball and apologizes for not letting the Pokemon say bye to his friends. Bulbasaur understands and forgives Ash. Ash and Brock are sitting on the Pokemon Center thinking about the Charmander. Then they hear someone telling others about him abandoning a Charmander. Brock, hearing this, gets angry and confronts the trainer named Damien. They both argue for a bit, but before the things could escalate, Nurse Joy stops both of them. After this, Brock and Ash immediately run towards where they saw the Charmander, and when they see that he's been attacked by the wild Spearows. Ash sends out his own Spearow to deal with his kin, while Ash and Brock take Charmander to the Pokemon Center. Ash's Spearow deals with the kin, and Ash picks up Charmander and rushing to the Pokemon Center with Brock following suit, covering its tail so it doesn't anguish. They reach the Pokemon Center, ask Nurse Joy to help with the Charmander, and which she immediately does. She and Chansey take Charmander to the infirmary room and patch it up. Ash and Brock wait for confirmation and gets it when Nurse Joy comes back telling them the Charmander's okay. Both Ash and Brock sign relief and wait for the Pokemon to completely heal. Ash, Brock and Pikachu spend the night at the Pokemon Center. When the next day they wake up, they get the news that Charmander went back to the rock. Brock and Ash decide to just leave him there since Charmander wanted it to. Ash and Brock start walking towards the next city, but then Team Rocket traps them by digging a hole in the ground in which Ash and Brock fall. Team Rocket celebrates and picks up Pikachu and demanding that Ash hand over his Gyarados. But before he could do anything, the Charmander comes and sends them blasting off again. Ash and Brock climb up to the top and thank Charmander for helping them. That's when Damien comes back and orders Charmander to come with him. He throws a Pokeball, but the Charmander reverses the throw with his tail, and the Pokeball hits Damien's face. Damien is angry and decides to throw multiple Pokeballs at Charmander, but Charmander uses Flamethrower, and with the help of Pikachu, both of the Pokemon are able to make Damien run away. Brock decides that it would be best that Ash should have the Pokemon. Ash accepts and throws the Pokeball, catching it. The Pokeball vanishes, and Ash and Brock now had to go to the Pokemon Center to set up Ash team. Ash withdraws Charmander while sending back Butterfree. After this, Ash, Brock and Pikachu later leave the town to go to the next city. Ash, Brock and Pikachu walk towards the town, and they all fall into a tip and immediately think that Team Rocket dug it. But they didn't. A group of sunglasses wearing Squirtles dug it. They stare at the duo and laugh. Pikachu used Thundershock, but one of the Squirtle defended the other Squirtle. A battle started. Pikachu against Squirtle that was the leader. Suddenly, sirens started going off, and the Squirtles grabbed their hurt friend and ran off. Halfway Jenny quickly appeared and explained that the group of Squirtles they met called themselves the Squirtle Squad. The Squirtle Squad were abandoned by the trainers and pulled pranks on people. Jenny was worried that if no one can deal with them, it's scary to even imagine what will happen next. Far away, Ash and Brock were sitting by the river. A member of the Squirtle Squad came appeared and soaked them both with a water gun. Pikachu tried to use Thunder Shock on it, but it shocked Ash and Brock. Ash was sick of all this and confronted Squirtle when it jumped into the water. Pikachu started to attack, but the Squirtle withdrew into his shell and spun, knocking Pikachu into the water. And at the worst possible time, a Goldeen was in the water. Ash yelled to Pikachu to swim to the shore, but Pikachu couldn't swim faster than the Goldeen. Pikachu was hurt by Goldeen's arms and was knocked out of the water. Ash ran to help, but 3 Squirtle came out, tying up Ash and Brock. Running around the Squirtle squad tightened the ropes. Then Meowth came out of hiding. Later, Ash and Brock were tied up in a cave with Pikachu trapped in a cage nearby. Meowth said that he was in charge, but Ash tries to convince the Squirtle squad to not listen to Meowth because he is a liar. But Meowth uses a scratch attack on Ash's face and convinces the squad to not listen to Ash. Brock sees that Pikachu was hurt badly and that they would need a super potion to heal it. Ash asked the squad if he could be let go to get some medicines for Pikachu. They refused. Ash begged and even cried to convince them. They decided that only Ash would be let go to get the medicine. They warned him. Ash promised that he would be back by then. Ash raced forwards to the town and tripped on a rock. The image of Pikachu badly hurt kept him growing. He soon came to a dangerous bridge and when he was halfway across it, it broke Ash, sending him into the river where he got hurt from a Goldeen. Ash finally made it to town, but he was so exhausted that he was walking with a walking stick. He reached out to open the door, but the shop, but Gary pushed open and it has knocking him unconscious. Back in the cave, Pikachu was getting worse and Brock was worried about Ash. Meowth is worried too because Jessie and James were taking a long time to come. In town, Ash was yelling coming from inside the shop. Team Rocket is holding up the shop with ice guns and demands all of their flash power. When they get what they wanted, they fire the rocket that made a snow inside the store and they ran to the balloon. Ash ran into the store to get the medicine and when he walked in, he had 4 gun barrels pointing at him. Officer Jenny stopped the people holding guns saying that he wasn't with Team Rocket. Ash was soon riding in the back, got his medicine and was riding at the back of Officer Jenny's motorcycle heading towards the cave. Unfortunately, they came to the bridge that broke and they were forced to take a longer route. Team Rocket flew over the Pokemon bridge and made flash bombs. Ash and Officer Jenny found another way into the cave but it was so small for an adult to fit through, so Ash went in alone. It was dark to see, so he had Charmander by his walking torch. Ash came to where the Squirtle squad was, but they weren't there anymore. Ash ran up to the cave where the squad was and demanded to know where Brock was, and they were right there. And he was right there. It turns out that the squad was joking. Pikachu was quickly sprayed by the super potion. Suddenly an explosion happened and Team Rocket recited their motto. They threw some more bombs and dropped down a ladder for Meowth to climb up with Pikachu. Ash yelled for everyone to go into the cave for cover. Ash looked back and saw that the squad leader had been knocked onto its back and couldn't move. Ash ran back to protect Squirtle from the bombs. Ash told Squirtle to save Mr. But Squirtle picked up Ash and ran to the cave. Team Rocket were busy celebrating and Ash told them that everyone has survived. They were stunned and Ash told all of the Squirtle to use a water gun. It blew a hole in the balloon and James dropped Pikachu. Ash ran and caught Pikachu. Team Rocket and their balloon went blasting off again. The bombs that had thrown started a fire and Ash said the squad if they worked together, they could stop the fire. They did. When the fire stopped and the town was saved, the town people made the Squirtle squad as the new firefighter squad. Ash and Brock left to go to the Vermilion city with Pikachu on his back to his regular self. Brock noticed that the leader of the Squirtle squad was following them. Ash asked the squad if he wanted to join them and he gladly accepted. Ash threw his Pokeball to catch it and he caught it. His Pokeball vanished from his hands and Ash and Brock went back to the Pokemon Center to switch Ash Pokemon. Ash was contemplating on what to do. Should he send off his Gyarados or Sandshrew? He releases both of his selected Pokemon and asks them their suggestion. A couple of minutes later, Gyarados decides that he would go to Professor Oak since he was over leveled for the team. Ash thanks Gyarados and sends it retrieving Squirtle to his team. And after that, he leaves town with his new team. Ash, while traveling, trains with this new team so they could adapt to Ash's battling style. Brock, of course, helps Ash in doing so. This finally pushes Brock's Geodude to the point of evolution and it evolves into Gyarados. Ash and Brock were walking through a forest, and when Ash and Brock go to the end of the forest, they found themselves on a small beach. While Brock and Ash were admiring the view, Ash saw a small crabbing running around his feet. Ash threw a Pokeball and caught it easily. The Pokeball suddenly transferred to Professor Oak's lap, and after that Pikachu started jumping up and down and pointing at the building in the distance. Both Ash and Brock all looked over at it and realized that it's a lighthouse, and they raced towards it. By the time they had gotten to the lighthouse, it was dark out and it was a long walk to the lighthouse, which had wore both of them out. Ash rang the bell and someone answered. After Ash and Brock explained the situation, that they were lost and Brock offered to cook the lighthouse keeper a cheeseburger, they were let in. As soon as the door opened, they noticed that no one was there to greet them. Ash asked out loud if he could use the lighthouse phone, and he heard someone agree. They didn't know who the lighthouse keeper was. Ash called Professor Oak about his Pokemon and they talked for a bit. Professor Oak then informs Ash that he's calling from Bill's lighthouse and Bill knows more about Pokemon than Professor Oak, so it would be a good idea to listen to him. Ash says goodbye and hands up the phone. Suddenly, a giant Kabuto appeared, saying that it was the keeper of the lighthouse. Kabuto said that his name was Bill and he got stuck inside a Kabuto suit during a research project. Ash and Brock help Bill get out of the Kabuto suit. Bill thanks them and tells them that there are 150 different kinds of Pokemon, something Ash didn't know before. Bill also explained that there were many more Pokemon yet to be discovered. He gave Ash a few things to think about, like a meaning for all. Bill says that there's one Pokemon he has been researching for and is the biggest Pokemon he ever seen. He said it was quite unique and that no one had ever seen it before. He said that one night when he heard a mysterious noise coming from across the lake and the Pokemon had made the noise. Bill said that that was the last time he saw the Pokemon. Then they all heard all the strange sound and the last Pokemon rose out of the lake. Bill said that it was the Pokemon he heard before, and the Pokemon came closer. They realized that the Pokemon was a Dragonite. The Dragonite came over and Team Rocket was shown climbing the cliff. When they saw the Dragonite, they started shooting missiles to try to catch it. Dragonite got mad and swung his tail at the trio, causing them to blast off again. The Dragonite started to walk away. Bill tried to call it, but it didn't listen. In the morning, Bill didn't appear to be upset that the Dragonite had left. He was happy that he just got to see it. With another lesson from Bill, Ash and Brock leave the lighthouse waving Bill goodbye. After 2 weeks of traveling, Ash and Brock finally reach Vermilion City. Brock and Pikachu cannot wait to eat. Ash agrees that they should all head to the Pokemon Center to eat and heal their Pokemon. At the Pokemon Center, the door opens up and at the Pokemon Center, a couple of hours later, the door opens up and Chansey and a trainer run. On the rolling table was a very hurt Rattata. Brock wonders what happened and Nurse reports that it's the 15th one this month. They go to a room with a lot of Pokemon hurt. Pokemon such as Caterpie, Oddish, Sancho and Rattata can all be seen there. Nurse explains that they are all lost to a mysterious Vermilion City gym leader, Lieutenant Surge. Ash starts to get worried that the Lieutenant's surge will be tough but Brock encourages Ash to calm down. After a couple of minutes, they hear the sound that meant Ash's Pokemon were fully healed. Pikachu happily eats an apple and Ash lets him know that it's time to go to the gym. Just then, another trainer with a hurt Pidgey comes in. Pikachu gets scared and does not want to go to the gym. Ash notices this and helps Pikachu get out of his scared state, saying that they will defeat Surge. Pikachu lies this and nods. Outside the gym, Ash and Brock talk about the strategy and Pikachu is not understanding it all. They enter the gym and Ash says that he is ready to earn his third badge. The Lieutenant Surge male assistant says that there's another one for the EI room, and Lieutenant Surge enters. Surge laughs when he sees that Ash has a Pikachu, calling them a little baby Pokemon, making Pikachu mad. Ash asks why he's making fun of his Pikachu, and Surge responds by showing off his Raichu, Pikachu's evolved form. Surge says that it wasn't too late to back out now, but Ash stands on the point, and so does Pikachu. Surge laughs again, stating that electric type Pokemon is only useful if it has been evolved and knows all the moves it can learn. Ash retorts, saying that there's more to training Pokemon than forcing them to evolve, liking Pikachu the way he is. Surge insults make Pikachu starts to get really angry, and his cheeks sparking, prepared to battle. Brock is surprised when he sees how ready Pikachu is to battle. Surge says that they should start learning that fighting the big boys would be a shocking experience. Pikachu and Raichu soon battle in the arena. The battle starts, and Ash tells Pikachu to use Thunder Shock. Raichu is not affected by it and the Thunder Shock itself, knocking Pikachu and uses Thunder Shock himself, knocking Pikachu backwards. Brock realizes that electric tanks wouldn't attack and tells Ash to use the strategy. Ash decides to use it, but Surge gives Pikachu credit for being busty and tells Raichu to use Mega Punch followed by Mega Kick, knocking Pikachu back again. Ash decides that now is the time to tell and tells Pikachu to wait, which Pikachu does. Raichu, who uses his tail to hit Pikachu, followed by a body slam. Surge orders another body slam to finish things off, but Pikachu was able to get up close and use quick attack. Raichu tries to use body slam, but Pikachu is way too fast for it. Brock admits the strategy that Lieutenant Surge evolved his Raichu too soon and never got the chance to learn any speed type attacks like Pikachu. Surge was mad, having Raichu to use Thunderbolt, which blows all the windows in the gym. Surge saw that Pikachu does attack and was standing on his tail. Surge orders Raichu to use Thunderbolt again, and Raichu uses it all with this electricity. Pikachu uses quick attack and Raichu uses takedown, but the former is quicker and hits the left. But Pikachu is quicker and hits the Raichu. With a shocking tail, Pikachu defeats Raichu. Everyone congratulates Ash and Pikachu, even Raichu, who shows his respect for Pikachu. Ash is given the Thunder Patch and gives Pikachu a victory hug, shocking the farmer. So much that the stars' eyes in the eyes of the both of the stars flare. Brock, seeing that Ash and Pikachu are the best couple, Brock sees that Ash and Pikachu are the best couple, while all of them cheer. And this is where we are gonna leave for this episode, guys. The background music, I think you might hear the crow screeching, but I'm very sorry for that. So if you guys like this video, then like, share, subscribe, do the necessary stuff, and if you don't, I can understand. So peace out.